have to face the anger of the people. I've not taken the calls today. What should I answer? Should I lie to them? Okay, it'll come today, next morning, or whatever? Because we are not sure. So these are great issues that are concerning our village, but we are not able to do anything for the villages. And then tomorrow we are being blamed. People question us for Gram Sabha, for smallest things, and we are answerable to them. But what about these? When things go wrong, who is answerable? And why should we take the blame for the faults of the authorities? Today I speak not only as a Deputy Sarpanch of Betalbatim, but also as a woman, as a daughter of this land, and as someone who is watching her village being destroyed right before our eyes. As a Deputy Sarpanch, I hold a great responsibility, and it is my duty to work towards the betterment of this village and the villages, and to stand against all forms of wrongdoings or illegalities, and place the same with facts before the villagers who have entrusted to me this responsibility towards my ward first and then the entire village. I feel it's a great responsibility, and I'm wholeheartedly committed to this service. Now, what is happening in our villages is heartbreaking. We, the Panchayat members, are completely helpless. Our powers are being taken away, and you, the people who have elected us, must know this reality so that we fight the system together in the interest of our village and villages. We sit in the Panchayat office, we study files carefully, we listen to the concerns of our villagers, and we pass resolutions to protect our land, our environment, our children's future. We do the best we can. I really do it, and I mean it. But what use is all that when the government itself has made us powerless? Files come to us for construction licenses, but they are only for namesake now. By the time they reach our table, they already have TCP clearances, health approvals, and PWD water certificates. And these departments give their approvals sitting far away, without knowing the ground reality of our village, while we are struggling in sorting out issues like garbage, sewage, etc. right under the sun. We are facing water scarcity, but big projects still get certificates saying water is available. We have just raised the water shortage issue yesterday, where people had no water for 15 days. They promised that we would get the supply by late evening, but today morning there were several calls saying there's no supply till now. What should we answer to the people? Our farmers are struggling, but hotels and mega projects are using up all our groundwater for swimming pools. Our fields, our water bodies are being polluted by waste from these same hotels, and we are supposed to keep adding more projects? Till when? Till we die of thirst? Till our fields are destroyed and we die of hunger? Is it not our responsibility to foresee the threats that are likely to hit our village? Our narrow village roads, once safe for our children, for our senior citizens to walk and cycle, are now choked with traffic and accidents because of the sudden increase in population. And what about our safety? We had several robberies in our village. So these and many more issues are being taken up in our meetings. And what is worse, those in power, those in departments like TCP, BDO and others, are the ones facilitating these illegalities. They twist the rules, they ignore violations, they pass orders, sitting in air-conditioned offices, while we, the villagers, suffer the consequences. And it seems like we are only supposed to collect garbage, clear sewage, and clean drains. Now, what we want to highlight are cases where, in spite of observing so many violations while receiving applications for construction licenses, on Panchayat's rejection after a field study, the approvals are granted by the higher authorities. In one case, after a field study, there were reports from BMC, VDC, and from concerned villages highlighting the consequences and threats that would arise from the environment disturbance and effects on the livelihoods of farmers, etc. But all that the BDO focused was the TCP clearance, ignoring all our field study and ill effects that are likely. Now there is another recent case about a tea stall, which is a two-storied building which the owner and the TCP calls a tea stall, which also needs attention. Whereupon observing several violations like encroachment on communal land, no title documents, his plan without the required setback from the compound wall and the major district wall, and he also had no commercial summit. And worst of all, there's no parking space. And when he applied for construction permission, we rightfully rejected his application, but he takes it to the BDO and additional director, and they ignored all the facts and passed orders in his favor. We challenged this in district court and the high court and even revoked the license, but still he continued. And recently, after completing his building, he applied for an occupancy certificate. We took a resolution to keep it pending until the courts give the decision. Again, he ran to the video using absurd legal technicalities. And despite telling us earlier that occupancy is not in her jurisdiction, the video passed an order forcing a secretary to grant him the certificate. The same was being done at the time of construction license. Now, should the secretary and the panchayat members act like puppets? Is it not going to set a bad example for the others to follow? The so-called tea stall is right on the road on a sharp turn. No setback, no safety, no parking. Behind the structure is touching the compound wall. The High Court keeps telling the government to act against such violations, but the TCP officers, BDO, deputy and additional directors keep twisting the law and forcing panchayat to sign papers against our will. We are not against anyone earning their bread, but there are rules and regulations for everyone to follow. So whatever one does, it has to be done rightfully, and when it is not right, when the system itself is used to destroy our village, it becomes our duty to stand up and speak. If one such legal structure is allowed, it becomes an example for everyone to follow. If this continues, Goa will not remain Goa. Our villages will not remain villages. This will all turn into concrete jungle, which we have seen is already turning on the other sides. Most of the other villages and in the north side is completely destroyed. Is this what we want to leave for our future generation? I appeal with all my heart to the Panchayat Minister. Please act against these unlawful acts of the officers. I appeal to our Chief Minister. Please restore powers to the Panchayat. Let us protect our villages as we want, because as a villagers, only we know what is best for our village, and not the people who sit in the offices. Our villagers do not want this kind of development. We want our land, we want our water, our peace, our clean air, our culture, our topography, our demography. We want sustainable development. And so we, the Panchayat members, we are all ready to fight against any unlawful acts, no matter what.
Authorities, the BDO has already sent a note for the secretary to give the license. Occupancy to apply. But on the subject, technical clearance is whatever the clearance is, what is there, we have to take an inspection and see before giving the occupancy. We have to see.
You mentioned that the BDO is not authorized to issue occupancy, but she's forcing the secretary to issue it. So, on what grounds is she forcing that?
Stop notice. If they are not being, they get stay on that stop notice, and then the work keeps on going on. The illegalities keep on continuing. So, what is left in our hands? The villagers blame the panchayat body, but we do our best, and then nothing, no fruit for that. It's like by the BDO and the higher authorities. It's when the TCP also, they just issue licenses without coming and actually seeing the place, whether they are permissible to have such a construction. And in the end, they are not blamed, but the panchayat body is blamed.
Yeah, and what about the
To point out the illegal structures and decide BDO is giving permission for illegal
on the
structures.
MDR roads.
Yeah, on the MDR road.
We have already shortlisted few, and then we'll have to submit now.
Especially when this person doesn't have a commercial sanad, there is no title document, there are no actual permission, the place is not on his name. But he has got permission from the BDO.
Is it an insider or is it an outsider?
No, insider, go on. The BDO had given us assurance that she wouldn't give the occupancy because it's not in her hand.